from Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Three. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Harris-Smith, and welcome to the Three. We are at NRB, the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. That's the noise you hear going on around us, but we've got incredible guests filing through today, and we are really blessed right now to talk to Tim Ballard. Now, there is a new movie that is coming out. It is in theaters as of July 4th, and it's called The Sound of Freedom. So it's really fitting, the title, and you can remember it, July 4th, it will be in theaters. But this is a movie, and it is about basically human trafficking. The problem that we have in this country and around the world is so significant, and I'm really honored today to be talking to Tim Ballard, who is an he's a former government agent turned human trafficking vigilante, I'll say that. And this movie started, and well, first of all, welcome to the Three, Tim. Welcome to the Three. This movie started as really just a little seed in your heart. Where were you? You're working for the government, and how did God put this in your heart?
So I had been there for 12 years as an undercover operator, special agent, working child crimes. And
child crimes.
Yeah, there's crimes against human trafficking, child exploitation.
Okay.
And really, and as the movie explains, you know, most of what we were doing was end user kind of operations, meaning people who are possessing, collecting child videos, child pornography, like or child exploitation material. And it got to me. Where are the kids? How come we can't find the actual kids in these videos? And in 2006, the laws changed in the United States with the passage of the Adam Walsh Child Protect Act, and basically made it legal for U.S. agents to go overseas in search of American pedophiles who would hurt children in other countries.
That's big. I didn't realize that.
And hold them accountable as if they had committed that crime here. So that kind
you didn't have to extradite them or anything. You could just
they'll be extradited,
them there?
but you can actually hold them. You can actually charge them for U.S.
I see.
statutes that allow us to charge them here for raping children over there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, really cool law. And so that opened things up for us, and we started being able to go out and get them. The problem is, you know, government is difficult. There's lots of red tape, lots of bureaucracy.
Sure
and so going out there was tough because I'd have a limited window, and we'd always find the kids. Finding the kids was too easy. It was almost scary how quick you could find them. But then if I couldn't find that nexus back to the U.S., then it was come home, but I was already the bait. So there was a couple of operations in 2011 and 12, one in Haiti, one in Colombia, where I had extended myself as a government agent in a couple of cases. And when they said come home, I said, I can't. I can't.
Now, what do you mean you extended yourself? So you stayed over there longer than you...
I overcommitted. You know, I was supposed to be there consulting or doing this, but I actually made myself very emotionally involved.
It was in your heart by this point.
It was in my heart, and I made promises to a father of a missing kid, and also to a bunch of children that we knew existed in Cartagena in Colombia that we had identified. And when they said come home, I was just like, how can I? And I called my wife, and it was really my wife, and she just said, do you think if you were to stay, you could actually rescue the kids? I said, I do. I think we could. And we did. In the end, it was over 120 kids and some women that were rescued in this operation. It was huge.
Wait, at what point did you... So you have 9 children?
Yes.
Okay. At what point, what number child were you on when your wife said...
6.
So 6. You just stayed over there? Did she go with you?
Oh, no. It was really scary because financially, because it was like, I'm going for the most secure job. And it's like, how am I going to fund this? At one point, I had a very weak moment in the second week of December 2013, and I said, I can't do this. I can't leave my job. We're out of food by June.
I get it. We have 6 kids. I get it. I totally get it.
And my wife said to me, this was like, she's usually a very sweet lady, but she felt something very powerful. And she grabbed me by the collar and she said, I will not let you jeopardize my salvation by not doing this.
Oh my goodness.
That's how she felt. And I'm getting chills just telling that story.
I wish I could meet her. That's amazing.
And that was it. I said, if that's how you feel, then I'll rely on your faith until I get more faith that this is the right thing. And off we went, and we ended up successfully conducting both those operations. One in Colombia is the story of Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
And then the other one, what happened in Haiti, resulted in rescuing 28 children, 2 of which we ended up adopting. So it was kind of amazing that first year of our foundation.
Okay, wow. All right then, so 10 years ago, that was 10 years ago you had that weak moment of can we do this?
Yes.
And now here we are in 2023 and there is a movie being made and you are being played by Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel, yeah.
Who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
And he is quoted as saying that this is the second most important movie he's ever made behind Passion of the Christ, of course, which impacted us all. How did that, so I hear that you had to rally, fight for Jim to play you.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because whoever thinks that someone's going to make a movie about you or that you'd ever be asked the question, who will play you? Yeah. Who do you want to play you?
Yeah.
And, these producers came to us, Eduardo Verastegui and others came to us. They saw something about the operation on CBS News. And they said, what's the whole story? I told them the whole story, and it's even better than, it's even bigger than what the news was able to show. And they said, we got to make a movie about this, and I didn't think it was going to happen. Because I would do some research, and 5% of movies from concept make it to
It's very small.
Yeah, so I'm like, this isn't going to happen. But a few years later, they came and said, we're going to film this summer, and you don't get to choose, but we'll let you request who would you want to play you. And right out of the gate, I said, Jim Caviezel. And they're like, what? And they said, no, we got to find someone who looks a little bit like you. Now, you might be surprised. People are surprised how much they actually make him look like me because...
I was going to say you do. And they've done a good job then.
Yeah, if you go watch the film, people are like, how'd they do that? Because we don't look like each other at all in real life.
Wow.
And I said, I don't care about that. What I care about is I don't trust Hollywood. I don't like Hollywood. And I know only one person for sure that loves Jesus, and it's Jim Caviezel. And that's why he has to play this. He has to. That's it.
Okay, then when we come back from the break, I want to talk more about that and his role in this, and we're going to show a trailer. All right, mark your calendars, July 4th. Be right back after the break. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Laura Harris-Smith, inventor of Quiet Brain Essential Oil Blend. If you would have told me 2 years ago when I was mixing that very first little bottle that we would have thousands of customers from all over the world and that we'd have to quadruple our staff to keep up with the demand produced by our international TV infomercial, I'm not sure I would have believed you. And if you told me I'd be hearing regular testimonies of improved sleep, reduced stress, migraine relief, even help with other neurological challenges like seizures, PTSD, tremors, muscle spasms, even anxiety, well, I probably would have cried. And sometimes, when I'm reading a Quiet Brain testimony, I do. But if you would have told me 1 year ago when we introduced our Quiet Brain Variety Gift Box that it would become the biggest selling item on our online store at quietbrainoil.com, I would have said, I believe it. The reason is because I created the gift box to be the perfect combination of all of our Quiet Brain products. The oil itself for topical use on the skin that contains only certified pure oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier and bring speedy relief and neurological support. And our aromatherapy line with our Quiet Brain shampoo and conditioner, candles, inhalers, all of which use the nasal passages to gain direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. So whether you need to use Quiet Brain topically or aromatherapeutically, the Quiet Brain gift box has everything that you need. And now we've given our gift box an upgrade without increasing the price. It now comes with our satin Quiet Brain Sleep Eye Mask. Just put a few drops of oil on the nose guard and you're on your way to enjoying a good night's sleep. And it all comes packaged in a beautiful gift box and delivered to the destination of your choice or sent to you so you can use it for 7 different gifts or keep a few for yourself. When sold separately, the items in the box are $160, but you're getting it for $135. That's a $25 savings, meaning that you're getting the nasal inhaler and the shampoo and conditioner for free. The Quiet Brain gift box comes with 1 Whisper Quiet Nightlight diffuser with 16 color options and intermittent mist options, 1 dropper bottle of Quiet Brain, 1 Quiet Brain nasal inhaler, 1 Quiet Brain candle, the satin sleep eye mask, and your healing shampoo and conditioner. And remember, both are color safe, aloe enriched, paraben and sulfate free, loaded with wonderful ingredients like unscented coconut oil, olive oil, sugar beet betaine, And of course, the Quiet Brain Blend with its 8 essential oils like lavender, frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and more. We get repeated testimonies of both being used with great effectiveness during headaches for pain relief. So go to quietbrainoil.com to order. Quiet Brain is a great gift for any time of the year, but especially for seasons like these that bring additional stress. Give the gift of health and peace this year. Give the gift of Quiet Brain.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The Three. I'm Laura Harris-Smith. July 4th, okay, it's in theaters as of July 4th. The movie is Sound of Freedom, and it's starring Jim Caviezel. Of course, he played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, but this is an incredible true story. So you've got to go and see it. This story shines a light on really even the darkest of places. After rescuing a young boy from ruthless child traffickers, a federal agent, and that's Tim Ballard, who's with us today, learns the boy's sister is still captive and decides to embark on a dangerous mission to save her. Okay, time was running out, and so what happened? Take us through how, you already told us how you went from your job, took the leap of faith in 2013, and now here you are, moment of faith. Look, your wife looks at you and says, you have to do this. What's happened in the last 10 years, and how did we get here today to the movie?
Well, so the story of those children, it was a transformational point for me when this case happened. And what happened was this little boy was being kidnapped by this trafficker named Earl Buchanan, and he was kidnapping these kids and bringing them into the United States. And he was making child exploitation material. He had a studio in San Bernardino, California, a studio where he would make child rape videos.
Oh my gosh.
It's horrifying. And this little boy,
wow,
he was coming across the border, and the Customs and Border Protection official said he just didn't know why. He said something's wrong. He couldn't explain it. He had a passport for the kid because he was using a fake passport.
Oh,
he was using,
okay, yeah.
You know, these kids grow so fast, and it's like just use any baby,
right?
A little Hispanic baby, and it's like, oh, he's my nephew or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
And he put him in the secondary, and he called me. I came down because he found these videos in the back of the van, and the videos were of him sexually assaulting this little boy, and that opened this whole case up, where we ended up tracking down his sister, who was also being abused, and several others. The most important piece in this, and I told them not to include this in the movie because I said no one will believe this. So I don't think you should put it in because no one will believe it. It's real.
Did they?
They did.
They did.
They did.
Okay,
If you watch the trailer, you'll see there's a necklace that Jim's he's holding, and you can tell it's symbolic of something. Yeah. And it's a real thing. So the little boy had this necklace, and he was just 5, but I could tell it was special. And he tried to. He gave it to me, and I tried to give it back. He's like, no, you keep it, you keep it, you keep it. And I didn't think a whole lot of it. I put it away, and it wasn't shortly after one of my children saw it and said, "Where'd you get this?" You know, it was hanging on my desk, you know, and it's just like a dog tag, kind of cheap nickel and dime store thing. And he said, it's so cool that the kid put your name on it when he gave it to you. Because it was my kid was about the same age as this little boy.
Right.
And I said, no, he didn't put my name on it. It's just a little toy necklace he wanted me to have. So no, your name's on it. And I'm like, what? So I grab it, and I turn on the back, and sure enough, my name's on it.
Tim?
It says 1 Timothy 6:11. And I'm like,
wow.
I'm getting chilled because, and people can just write that off as whatever, but I didn't.
No, of course not.
I was like, it's
a God wink.
It was, absolutely. At that point, I wore that necklace on all the operations and took it with me into all of our operations. I started making replicas because it became so sacred. I put it in a glass case.
Oh, you did make replicas. Oh, that's awesome.
In our office. So that's depicted throughout the film. So that's kind of where it starts, the story. But we need to really protect the identity of these kids.
Sure.
Because they're still minors. Like, this wasn't that long ago. So at this point, what they do, they don't show the kids actually being abused. The true story is actually more, in some ways, more jolting because it's in the United States.
Yeah.
It's abusers in the United States, and especially with what we're seeing at the border right now with human trafficking, which is insane. I spent 10 years on that border, and I just can't believe what we're doing to children right now on that border and how everything's backwards.
Yeah.
But So what they did was the writers were brilliant in that they made a kind of a composite. They took 2 other true stories and put them in, like, floated into one.
Okay.
So the operation in Colombia, which we did on October 11th, 2014, which I told you about in the first segment. Yeah. So they connect those 2.
So it's like an amalgamation.
Exactly.
There we go. Of all of both of those stories.
Correct.
So you could get it all told. I see.
All told and protect identities.
Yes, protect identities.
And so then you get into the and there's a documentary. Actually, it's won 3 Emmys. That's coming out in conjunction with Sound of Freedom called Triple Take, which tells the story of the Colombia operation, which took place on an island.
Where will it be? Streaming?
It'll likely be with Angel Studios as well. So it's a little premature. I think they're close to the deal, but I'm almost certain it'll be.
Oh my goodness, this is just amazing. All right, keep going.
So that operation was, this was probably the largest that I've ever heard of. It was over 120 rescues in the span of about 3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
And the main one happened on an island off the coast of Cartagena. And they filmed The Sound of Freedom at another beach that was just a few miles away from the island. And it was very emotional. I was sobbing on the set because they replicated the scene and they did a great job. All these little kids were there, and this was a scary trafficking organization because one of the recruiters was the Miss Cartagena from like 2011 or 12. Like she was famous. She had won Miss Cartagena in her pageant on the platform that she was going to help impoverished children in Colombia. But what she was actually doing was she had a modeling agency, and she would recruit children. And they started at like 9, 10, 11.
Oh, you're going to be a model, and then they bring you in. Oh,
and then all of
sex trafficking.
Yep, and then they just, and this is what they do in the U.S. and everywhere else. It's a slow kind of like desensitization, right? They kind of start to, they'll give them drugs, they'll show them pornography, tell them part of being a model is doing these acts with this man who's going to come in. And these, and, it's mostly Westerners who are the tourists, the sex tourists. The United States is generally year after year the #1 demand for child exploitation material. We consume it like nobody else.
I've heard this.
So we are so that's why we're successful, as you see in Sound of Freedom. Undercover operators who look like Westerners, we can infiltrate much quicker. Simply because we are what the traffickers are looking for.
Wow.
And so that's what the story is how we infiltrated this organization, busted them all up, and made all these rescues.
It's just amazing. July 4th. Okay, when we come back from the break, we're going to see the trailer for The Sound of Freedom and so much more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Neuromatics Oil is a family of therapeutic-grade patented oil blends created by nutritionist and author Laura Harris Smith. Invented for her own lifelong journey for neurological health, Quiet Brain now helps those worldwide who suffer from insomnia, migraines, anxiety, seizures, tremors, and more. Quiet Brain contains oils like frankincense, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and others. Next, Happy Brain is a bright mood-lifting citrus blend and contains oils like lemon, lime, clementine, spearmint, and more. Users say it combats depression and even aids in weight loss. Next is Sharp Brain, Laura's Focus Blend, also used to improve cognitive memory issues with oils like coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, clove, and others. Each $69.95 bottle is a 10-week supply if used daily, or about $1 a day. And right now, buy 2 bottles and get the third one free, and get a free eye mask using the promo code on your screen at neuromaticsoil.com or at 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
I'm naturopathic Dr. Laura Harris Smith, and if you'll give me 10 days, Give It to God and Go to Bed can help you stress less, sleep better, and dream more. There are even links inside to my free 10 Days to Deeper Sleep and Dreams program and 10 Goodnight videos.
Can you close your eyes and just still listen to me?
The whole book takes place in your bedroom, and with chapter titles like The Junk Under Your Bed, The Treasures in Your Bedroom, and The Monsters in Your Closet. Give It to God and Go to Bed helps you learn to rest and hear God speak in dreams. Take back your sleep and dreams, my friend, with Give It to God and Go to Bed.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The3. I'm Laura Harris Smith. We're talking about the movie, The Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom. Okay, coming out, Angel Studios, and I'm here today with Tim Ballard. Now, Tim, this movie is really set up around you. You were a federal agent, you worked in child crimes, and then the Lord took a hold of your heart.
That's right.
And put you, He put you in a place where you really were able to have impact and set a lot of children free. Before we do anything else, I want to watch the trailer. It's so compelling. It's going to set the stage really for everything that we're talking about today. So watch this. This is Sound of Freedom, Angel Studios.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time with a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
How long you been doing this?
12 years now.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? ¿Puedes ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana?
Te lo prometo.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
Which means she'll disappear for good. Imagine walking into her room right now, seeing an empty bed. What we do?
You quit your job, and you go and rescue those kids.
So at this moment, she could be a block down the road, or she could be at Moscow, Bangkok, LA. She's a major operator.
It's all rebel territory. No one goes in. Not the army, not the police, not us.
What if this was your daughter?
There's no Marine unit coming.
You're on your own. This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate.
Oh my goodness, Tim. Oh my word. Okay, so I know we're pastors of a church, so we're going to get a group together. It opens July 4th. Is this a special? Do we have to have it in a certain amount of theaters? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we need to rally help, get the pastors involved? What are we doing?
Oh yeah,
here?
it's thousands of theaters.
Okay,
I think
okay,
over,
good.
I want to say close to 4,000.
Wonderful.
And actually, in the very first month, I just found out the very first month, they released tickets 2 months before the film, which Angel does. Angel's very creative. They do things differently. There's a reason you got 120 eyeballs on The Chosen, right? They know how to do it. And so they opened 2 months before, and they sold already $1 million of box office, which is unheard of.
That's amazing.
So it's really good. We're really excited.
Wow.
But our goal is to have 2 million people.
Okay.
Representing the 2 million children who are currently being trafficked in the world.
So like people. Opening weekend you're
opening
talking
weekend,
about?
we want 2 million people in theaters.
All right.
So
you guys know what to do. Get everybody you know and go see The Sound of Freedom. All right, in the time that we have left, tell us about, you're in the movie, so tell us about the role that you play and anything else you want to share.
Well, I'll say that, you know, they want to tell the origin story of Operation Underground Railroad. And there was actually 2 stories that happened, and they had to choose which one. They're actually in pre-production of Sound of Freedom 2, which tells the other piece of it.
My goodness.
And I think the other piece is actually more emotional to me and more personal and more powerful, and is the thing that helps me stay in this fight, because it's hard. It is a hard fight. You get uphill, beat up.
Yeah. And spiritually speaking, the fight that you're picking in the enemy's camp, you are walking into his camp and taking plunder and taking it. So you picked this fight.
Absolutely.
You know, and I love that about you, but keep going.
And I'll say this, you know, I talk to my wife all the time about spiritual warfare in our team, because like some of the worst bad guys aren't even, no, I won't say worse, but the most difficult bad guys to deal with aren't even necessarily the traffickers, but the quote unquote good guys. The people back home, the dishonest press, people that are they're attacking us, people who don't want us to call pedophiles, but call them minor attracted persons.
Mercy.
There's a movement going on right now
I've
in
heard
this country that is insane.
Yeah.
Like what they're teaching our children in terms of sex education. They're feeding them pornography. They're prepping their bodies and souls to be trafficked.
To be trafficked.
And it's insanity. I was talking to my wife the other day about this, and I said, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. Like, I get beat up constantly. And we had to literally delete my Wikipedia page because bad guys, I think probably pedophile groups, are constantly graffitiing or harassing it and lying. And it's just like, this is insane.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And she said to me, she's like, there's one way to get out of it. I said, what? Tell me. She's like, quit.
This is your only option. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, she's like, go be a bus driver. I always talk about being the bus driver to take my kids to school,
I've had this conversation with people before. I have said, look, all this warfare could go away. It would totally go away if you just quit.
Yeah.
Just quit. But you're not going to do that.
And I'm sure you're getting attacked too for being a light in this dark world.
Oh
so
yeah, and we have our hands in so many different fires, and as pastors, but that's why I said to you, you picked the fight, but because of that, you're on the offense, not the defense. Okay, in the last couple of minutes we have, or just actually about a minute, would you tell us how they can find you, website, donate, all of that?
Yeah, so in Sound of Freedom, you'll see it's a team of 1 or 2, 3 people. That's it. Today we're up to about 130 full-time people. We have offices all around the world. We're doing operations every week all around the world. We've rescued over 7,000 women and children so far since this movie, since what's depicted began. And we want to keep growing. We want to keep growing our mission. We want to keep getting out there. So people can go to OURrescue.org, which is our website, and there you can get involved, donate.
OUR, like Our Rescue.
Like Our Rescue.
Okay.
Or also, like, buy tickets, because the more people that watch this film will naturally lead to more people in this fight and standing up as lights in this dark world.
Amazing. All right. Sound of Freedom, July 4th. Where are you going to be this year? I'll tell you where I'm going to be. I am going to be rallying the people of my church. Look, you know people. You can get on social media. Get them there that weekend because good things happen. The more people we get in there on opening weekend, they'll put it in more theaters, or it will have a long shelf life, as they say. So let me just ask you this really quickly, just in 30 seconds. What was it like working with Jim Caviezel?
Well, I mean, Jim Caviezel, he's my favorite actor. Kind of Monte Cristo, Passion. These are some of my favorite movies. And so we've become we're very close friends. We talk all the time. And he is a believer in this. This is not just a job. This is truly a calling and a mission. And he cares deeply about this. And that's what makes him, I think, magical in the movie. There's a couple scenes that I watch. I'm like, how did you do that? And he just said the Holy Ghost. Like,
how can you not be passionate about this topic? Once you get in and you figure out exactly what's going on, I think the Lord gives you, well, like he did for you. He takes a federal agent and gives him a heart for the little lambs. Tim, thank you for joining us today. I mean, it's just a pleasure to meet you. Will you stick around? Because we've got Eduardo coming in.
Absolutely.
And he's a producer, and I want us to just explore this a little bit more, okay? So we will see you next time on The Three. I'm Laura Harris Smith. Bye-bye for now.